Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Happy
Good evening.
Monday.
Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly. So I guess we will start out tonight with some really exciting news I got. So my dear friend Temujin Kensu, who has been in prison for 38 years, who has been proven innocent multiple times. I've had him on my show from prison probably at least a dozen times. You can find those shows on my page, my YouTube. So I've known him for over 4 years. I have just been approved to go visit him in prison.
All right.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I'll be flying out to Michigan from Pennsylvania. And while I'm there, some other people are coming out, like some other true crime podcasters, and we're gonna have a big meetup, and it's gonna be amazing. So yes, I am so looking forward to meeting him and Paula and Jason Usry, who you guys may have seen on my show. He's doing a podcast called Inconceivable. I will actually be working with him. So I'm very excited about that.
Cool.
More to come at a later date. But yeah, so that's exciting. But I'm so hyped I finally get to meet Temujin and, interview him in person and give him a big hug and, just continue fighting for him and his innocence. For those who don't know, he has been proven innocent multiple times. However, Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, has his clemency papers on her desk, refuses to sign them. They've been there since the day she took office.
Yeah.
So, and why is that, you may ask? Follow the money. Always follow the fucking money. Yeah.
I really hope the truth comes out.
Well, there's so much truth that has come out, but the issue is it's the fucking DNC. They don't want Dems corruption being brought to light. I mean, they just don't. That would be awful for them. It's so disgusting.
Yep.
And Temujin has a brain tumor and so many medical things wrong with him. And he served almost 40 years. A man by the name of Scott Macklem was shot one time in the stomach. And they picked Temujin, who was over 400 miles away with over 8 dozen witnesses. Oh, and the story goes on to the point where they accuse him of teleportation and shit like that. I'm not fucking kidding you. It is the craziest fucking case in the universe.
So stupid.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I mean, I can't even tell you how many true crime podcast people I've spoken with. I had Jack Lawrence on the show. He has over 6 million followers. He's like, Joy, I've done so many cases. I've never heard of a case like this. It's mind blowing. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy.
Yep.
So anyway, I get to go see him and interview him in person next month. If you would like to chip in for my round trip planes and my hotels and all of those things, I would greatly appreciate it. I do have a buy me a coffee, and if you are on Twitter, you can link. Excuse me.
Bless you.
In my bio, I have a thingy to my Twitter or to my PayPal and Venmo. But yes, I'm so excited. It's gonna be hard.
Excited.
It's definitely gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very emotional. Yeah.
Well, I hope they give you enough time with him.
Well, I've asked for 4 hours.
Okay.
So, and Temujin rarely gets visitors. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm asking for at least 4 hours.
Yep. I like it.
I hope I never have to go back there. But, who knows?
Yep.
And I'm working on a very big project that I'm not announcing publicly yet. But the more I interview him, the more it's going to help me with this project.
Definitely.
That's all I'm going to say.
Definitely.
So anyway, I wanted to announce that. But yes, we have a lot to get to as usual. What is our first topic?
Let's see here. All right, so this is from the whitehouse.gov fact sheet. President Biden announces clemency for nearly 1,500 Americans. Today's announcement will commute the sentences of close to 1,500 individuals who were placed on home confinement and will pardon 39 individuals convicted of nonviolent crimes. So this is the president is commuting the sentences of close to 1,500 individuals who were placed on home confinement during the COVID-19 pandemic and who have successfully reintegrated into their families and communities. He's also pardoning 39 individuals who did nonviolent crimes, and these actions represent the largest single-day grant of clemency in modern history. And this is going to go on and talk about how awesome President Biden is. I don't know how much.
Yeah, obviously. But I mean, why do you think he's doing more than anyone in history? Could it be, I don't know, to deflect from the fact that one of them was his son? Well, he pardoned 1,500. His son was just one of them.
He should have waited to pardon Hunter until he was going to do this big number and just have it be like 1,501, right? One of these.
Yeah, right. Just like lumped it in and hope nobody fucking noticed.
We'd still notice, but it would be better.
It's crazy. It's bananas. But like at the same time, it's like, people are like, oh my God, all these illegals are coming in with all of these, horrible records. And then he's like, I'm going to let out 1,500. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, literally, I think all drugs should be legal. It's a personal choice if you want to do it. It should be legal. It'd be a lot safer if it were legal. Everyone convicted on drugs should just be out. Like, give me a fucking break. That alone, but I was thinking about this, especially, being so involved with Temujin. This application process had to have been absolutely bananas. Because out of those 1,500, how many fucking applications do you think they got? Hundreds of thousands, probably.
I have no idea how this works. They get applications for clemency?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you have to apply.
I see. Hmm.
Now,
Yeah, we'll never know how many they got.
now you may be asking, why didn't Temujin apply? Because he was convicted by the state.
Oh, it's a state thing.
So these are federal crimes. These are only, you're only Biden. Now, what Biden could do, which he would never do, is say, "Yo, Whitmer, do something and give Temujin clemency, because even your own fucking staff knows he's innocent."
Yeah.
And then, she could choose to agree or deny what he said at that point, but there's no legality in that. Like, there's no way that, really it would have to come from the Michigan governor. They're the only, I mean, he has judges, police, FBI, he has everyone on his side. It doesn't matter. He needs it from the governor. So she's the holdup right there. That's her. So yeah, I included a few examples of the people Biden's pardoning.
Yeah, let's get to those. Let me zoom in here. This is breaking. President Biden commuted the sentence of Rita Crundwell, the woman who embezzled over $53 million from a small Illinois town and spent it on luxury goods, real estate, and a horse breeding business, per the HuffPost. Crundwell's scheme was the largest municipal embezzlement in U.S. history and left the town of 15,000 struggling for many years. The city of Dixon said it was shocked and outraged. End quote.
So you may think, okay, well, whatever. It was like a white collar crime. Well, it actually wasn't, because if we're talking like federal funds, or we're talking like MMT stuff, that's one thing. But we're talking about, like, this is in a town.
Yeah, once it
Their
reaches the
funds.
town level, it's real money at that point.
It's very real money. And these people have been greatly affected by this selfishness. And yeah, no, there's really no way you can try and say that this is okay. I mean, she it's really incredible. So
53 million, that's a huge number, man. From a small town, 53 million, that's a huge number.
yeah, seriously. And how do you think you're not going to get caught when, like, you live in a small town and you run a horse breeding business and you have $43 million? Like, you don't think people are going to be like, where's
Yep.
that coming from? Oh, you just
Yeah.
bought a new mansion? Those are some stellar horses. So yeah, she's getting freed.
Who else? Let's see. Here's one. Mixed in with all those pardons and clemencies, Biden let a man convicted of having 47,000 CP images, as well as videos of men raping babies.
President Biden just pardoned 39 people and commuted roughly 1,500 sentences in the largest single-day act of clemency in American history.
Yeah, Harry. One of the people he just granted clemency to was a man named Shanlin Jin. Mr. Shanlin Jin was arrested in January of 2021 for being in possession of more than 47,000 images of child porn. At Jin's trial, an FBI agent testified that Jin was connected to some very high-level members of the Chinese Communist Party. Now, not only did they discover that his IP address was used in sharing child porn through a peer-to-peer network, but they also found videos on his home computer depicting the essay of an infant by a grown man. And then when they actually executed the search warrant on his house, they found even more videos of infants and toddlers being raped by grown men. And Joe Biden just gave this guy clemency. This guy is being released from prison early because of Joe Biden. Yeah, Harry, I would just ask that you somehow justify that. Because if you're going to celebrate him giving clemency, I want to know why. And I specifically want to know why Shanlin Jin was included in this in any way.
Truth. What the fuck is that about?
And then we have people like Temujin, who's proven innocent and literally has a nonprofit in prison trying to help prisoners who have gotten out of jail obtain dogs for therapy to integrate them back into society, and who does programs in the prison to help fellow inmates and things like that, but who would be very, very, amazing in society and do so much good to so many people's lives as he is in there. But this absolute piece of trash.
Yeah.
So what does he have on you, Joe? That's what I want to know. What the fuck does he have on you?
Do you think Joe Biden is in some of those videos?
No, I don't. And that would be conjecture if I said that, but we've all seen some videos of him and kids, and Grandpa Joe is not not wholesome. We'll say that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So this is from 4 days ago, CNN, pointing out Biden's hypocrisy.
A Democratic Hill source tells us that the White House has conveyed to them that they are not inclined to show clemency or pardon anyone whose crime involved drugs or guns, to which one might observe the glaring exception to the rule about guns and drugs, an exception named Hunter Biden.
Why is he allowed to say that? Well, I guess
because Biden lost. That's why.
Okay.
That's the only reason. If Kamala won and Dems were still in charge, there is no way in motherfucking hell he'd be able to say that. But now, oh well. Now, oh well. He's gone. He is gone. Thankfully, even scary Trump, but yes.
Yeah, Joy, why don't you ever talk about Trump? Jeez.
I
swear, if that guy shows up in the comments again, I'm gonna ban him again.
I'm gonna ask him if he needs a hug. I think I put something else about Jin in there.
I don't see anything else about him. Let me check.
No, I don't think I did. No. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the last bit I have about this is Leonard Peltier.
Yes.
So, a little context here. This is Senator Brian Schatz from Hawaii, chair of the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, delivering this speech.
He's done his time. He's of old age and in poor health. This is what clemency is for. This is what mercy is for. He poses little threat to society. If there was ever a case that merited compassionate release, Leonard Peltier's is it. This is exactly what this awesome presidential power is for, to right a historic wrong. And if not that, then just to show mercy and let an old man die with his family. He's done his time.
Seriously, he's done his time. So that was a federal crime then. Must have been, right?
It was. Because the FBI was shot. It was because of who the victims were. So yeah, I mean, and Leonard's a friend of the show, and if you guys haven't seen it, I did an incredible show with his assistant, his spiritual advisor, and one of his close friends. And I had all three of them on a panel from Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah.
About a month ago, and it was so powerful and so amazing. And they actually posted again today that Leonard is not getting mail. It really cheers him up to have people send him letters. He loves it. Matt, can you pull up that that tweet? I shared it just maybe 20 minutes ago, just so people have the address. He's in
Yep.
Florida. I hope that people just write him and even just send a few words, just say, hey, we're thinking about you. And he's just an amazing person and such a fighter.
So this is from Free Leonard Peltier Now. This person spoke with Leonard yesterday. They let him out for 2 hours. He's suffering greatly in solitary confinement, but he took the time to make me laugh and asked me to tell everyone hello. That is Leonard. He asked me to tell everyone that he has received a few letters and appreciates them greatly, but cannot read them. Leonard has severe vision trouble. Use large, bold font, 22-point bold. He also asked everyone to hone in on the constitutional violations, asking Biden for clemency. So yeah, Leonard could use some letters. If you appreciate his sacrifice, tell him. If you have a good joke, he likes to laugh. He cannot get to the phone in lockdown, so paper mail is the only communication he has. And here's the address.
Yeah, do you want to, can you put the link to that tweet in the comments, and then people can have the address there as well.
Yep. Check the comments, please. It's there.
But just be, you know, as someone who deals with the prison by Temujin and everything, be very careful what you send. You don't want to send any, I mean, you may be well-meaning and say, I'm going to send this bookmark because I think you would like it or something. Just be careful because they will throw out your entire letter. They will just throw out the whole thing. It's not like they'll throw out something you sent and give them the letter part. No, they'll throw the whole fucking thing out.
I hate that.
And they will read every word you put in there. So be careful. I'm not saying like censor yourself hardcore, but be careful you don't like say something that, you know, even jokingly, because they won't give him that letter then. And it could actually affect him negatively as well. So yeah, just send him a letter of support. It's so lonely in there. I can't even fathom. So yeah, that definitely would make his day. Free Leonard.
Free Leonard. All right, I think we're on another topic now.
Yes.
You want to talk about them aliens?
Dude, okay. I admit when we first shared this like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made fun of it. I did. And I was like, because it was just that one New Jersey town, and I'm in Pennsylvania. I know people in Jersey, and they're fucking weird. No offense. A lot of them are weird in a way that I fucking love. But New Jersey is a smaller Florida, essentially. There's a lot of weird people. In fact, there's a magazine that's literally called Weird New Jersey. Okay, so when I see this chick on there that's like, oh, this is a drone, but it looks like a UFO and stuff, I'm laughing because I think this is a one-off. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Is she like doped up? But now they're overhead my fucking city too in Pennsylvania. I'm not even kidding you.
Oh my God.
My city, the 3 neighboring cities, and get this, I'm about a half hour out from this town called Lancaster, and it's where all the Amish live, right?
Yep.
They're there. Okay. Amish people don't even have fucking electronics, okay?
Yeah.
And Lancaster is literally nothing but fields and smells like manure. Like, it's literally nothing but fields and farms. Yep. And imagine them looking up and seeing these fuckers in the sky and not having any kind of phone or like knowledge of what the fuck is
Yeah,
going on.
what do they do? Do they get the newspaper? How do they I'm
They
terribly ignorant.
legit drive horse and buggy. I'm not
I
even
know.
kidding you.
I know.
When you go to Lancaster, like it's mostly horse and buggy.
There's a pretty large Amish community up here in Northeast Ohio too.
Really?
Yeah, we see buggies sometimes, like on
Well,
the
I'll
road.
tell you one thing, they make banging food.
Yeah, and furniture.
And
Their
furniture.
is good,
Beautiful
man. Solid.
furniture.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I
just
have a
thought-
theory that the aliens go out to farm people to do their experiments because all the electricity and all the electronics interferes with the aliens.
Exactly. Like it's in that movie Signs that really sucked.
Mhm.
You know, the crop circle and stuff. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. But
Me
yeah, imagine not knowing what's going on
We don't
and
know.
looking up and being like, what the fuck is happening? Like
We
we're
still don't
using
really
like
know.
a fucking kerosene lamp. And like, oh my god, I can't.
Ugh.
Let's watch this
Yeah.
this video here. This was very interesting.
Yep, this is from Hotspot. Reposted this.
Project Bluebeam.
Mhm.
Can you describe what that is?
It's the ability to stage through very advanced technologies an alien attack or an alien event. And it's a whole series of them. Now, what most people don't know about since late 50s, early 60s, like the Barney Hill case and all that, those were all human assets abducting innocent people made to look alien. And so that psychological warfare was authorized in 1953, 54. 1954, we mastered gravity control. So we started deploying these assets to begin to condition the public that there's a scary threat from outer space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Hollywood, Alien, Ridley Scott's, the movies. If you want to see a script for what's coming fairly soon, look at the movie Independence Day. Okay. That's right out of central casting for this covert group. So what their whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds.
Okay.
And that's been a 70-year defense.
70-year
Okay,
defense
does
plan.
this not sound fucking feasible?
Oh, it does. Totally does.
It's terrifying, but it certainly doesn't seem far-fetched. So, like, okay, so at this point, it's conjecture. Well, actually, we'll show the next clip of that lady on the news.
Okay.
Because I was saying this all night yesterday with my in-laws, and then she said it on air, and I was like, damn.
Holly says, I get X-Files vibes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Me too. I think X-Files is some kind of soft disclosure is what they call it, where they're telling us the truth, but they're doing it in like a fictional way.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if them aliens are real. If they're real, fuck them aliens, because they're not giving us health care. They're not doing anything to help us.
Dude, they'll come
They're
here and
helping
turn
Gaza.
around and go back anyway. They're not fucking staying here. Once they see this shit show, they're look, they're out. They're fucking out.
I would give up.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's see what this lady has to say.
This is shocking. Okay. And I'm not the only person who feels this way. This was happening at Langley a month ago. Okay. These people are not crazy. They're seeing these things with their own eyes. This is not normal behavior. They are not planes that are coming in one direction and they're heading into Newark Airport and then they're landing. Okay. We spend $824 billion on defense. We have the greatest intelligent capability in the world. So how can you stand there and say to the country right now, gosh darn, we just don't know what these are?
Because I'm not going to lie to you or to the American people, and I'm not going to say we know something when we don't. And we would never, ever stoop to think that an American citizen was crazy or nuts because of what they're seeing and what they're documenting. We're taking that imagery seriously, and we're doing the best we can to analyze it. And we encourage people to come forward if they have additional sightings and imagery. We want to do the best we can to triangulate it. But I'll be gosh darn if I'm going to stand up here and make up stuff that I don't know to be true.
We don't want you to make up anything. Do you know and you can't say? Can you tell me that?
No, I'm telling you, Martha, I'm telling you, we don't.
You don't know.
We can't corroborate every single sighting. Some of them we have, not all of them, and we're working hard to do that.
Huh.
It was funny. Bernie Sanders was on an interview. I don't know if it was from yesterday, but I saw it about an hour ago. Somebody asked him, "Are you concerned about all these like drone things?" And he goes, "Yeah, I am." So
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, he said he thinks Biden should be more forthcoming about it, and I think all of us do. Not that we trust one word that motherfucker says, but I'm with this lady because we know how to track every fucking thing we send Israel and every fucking thing Israel's doing and so on. But we don't. They said these drones are the size of SUVs.
Yeah.
That's fucking ginormous. And you don't know where they're coming from. Y'all fucking knew where a balloon was coming from. And you don't fucking know. Like, dude. Okay, so let's conspiracy theory, conjecture. I don't give a fuck. Let's talk theories because I'm very interested in this. So what I think is plausible, I have no proof, but what I think is plausible is it could be Israel, which is why they're not saying anything. And it could be Israel and trying to get attention elsewhere. Because look what everyone's talking about, this shiny object, literally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and also, is it going to make people stop protesting as much because it's outside? I don't know. I'm not going to stop, but some people might be freaked out. I can't necessarily blame them. So that's another thought I had. Like, I don't know. To me, everything that goes bad is Israel. I don't fucking know.
That was my thought. I mean, they're already doing a whole bunch of drone stuff in Gaza and Syria. So
yeah, like how do we know they're not testing that shit out on us?
Yeah.
Like, it's just great. I find it hard to believe Israel's not involved in some way. And that would explain why they never fucking say anything. And they never will if it's them. What other explanations can we come up with? Like, who else could it be? And for what reason?
Other than just us
surveillance?
Doing it? I don't know. I mean, according to some people, this has been going on for 70 years, this blue beam thing.
Oh, yeah, totally. But this is like very noticeable, and there's a lot of them. Like,
yeah.
Does anyone in the comments have an idea, a suggestion?
Holly says, "Good point. It could be Israel. If all else fails, just blame Israel because they're."
Because those drones are anti-Semitic. Okay, you guys, we need to just look. It is what it is.
Oh, also, she says, yeah, Area 51.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit.
I'm sure we'll be getting more of this shit coming. I don't think this is just going to stop. Do you?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Yeah, once they started a couple years ago when they rolled out those robot police dogs, that scared the shit out of me. Those fucking... the ones that look like spiders and they're like this walking down. Oh my God, I just got goosebumps. I would turn and run faster than you have ever seen me fucking run. I swear to God, that scares the living shit out of me. Holy fuck. Oh my God. I mean, cops scare me, but that fucking thing, that's like, it's almost like a scarier version of that. What the fuck's his name? Marvin or something. The guy that follows you around the supermarket.
Yeah.
I think it's Marvin. Do you guys have those in Ohio?
We do. They kind of like wander the aisles and they beep at you.
Yeah, it feels like they're fucking following you. And it's like, dude.
Pretty soon we'll have these in the Costco checking inventory.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep.
But I guess that means, you know, if there's more of those, there's less cops. But I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
Yep. All right. Enough about aliens. We can talk about CEOs now.
I just put another video in last minute. It was the one I was looking for.
Ah. Oh, this is for the other topic. I see.
No, this is for the CEO.
Okay, gotcha. You want to start with that one?
Yeah.
All right. From Horror Girl, Tired Peasant. I love her. I'll support her no matter what. It's a class war. This is Brianna Boston. Let's see.
Liberation. When that lady in Florida who was arrested for saying delay, deny, depose comes out as a fucking Trump supporter, will you guys still support her? Because the way collective liberation leaves the body of a leftist when somebody who does not agree with their politics suffers is fucking insane. I did not forget that a lot of you motherfuckers got on this app and cheered because Hurricane Helene took out sundown towns in the southeast of the country, and those people were falling victim to the same systems of oppression that oppress you, the same lack of infrastructure that oppresses you, the same lack of healthcare that oppresses you. Here's a hot take. I have more in common with the average Trump supporter than I do with the ruling class. I have more in common with a racist redneck in a fucking trailer park than I do with the ruling class. Most of us understand that racism and prejudice is a byproduct of ignorance. We also understand that the lack of education in this country is very intentional. Segregation of races in this country is very intentional. So what good does it do me to make an enemy out of someone who very clearly fell victim to the systems at play? The majority of people in this country have been fed this idea that they can secure their own rights and quality of life by sacrificing the rights of other people. And that includes Democrats. Republicans have been taught that they can sacrifice people who do not align with Christo-nationalist ideals to save themselves. They can sacrifice immigrants to save themselves. Democrats have been told that they can sacrifice Muslims and Palestinians to save themselves. At the end of the day, the majority of Americans are just working class people who do not have the answers and have been fed the answers by the same entities that oppress us.
I love him. King. Yes. Because don't fucking use the words class solidarity and then be like, well, she was a Trump voter. I don't give a flying fuck. Why the fuck do I care who she voted for? What the fuck does that matter? She's hurting monetarily. Class solidarity has no fucking political party. That means nothing. Medicare for all or universal health care, single payer, whatever you want to call it. Is there an asterisk that says unless you're Republican? Because I want everyone to have it. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. That's class solidarity. Not, oh my God, she's awesome. She's awesome. We need to get her out. Oh, wait, she's a Republican? Fuck this. Like, do some research. That's not fucking class solidarity. You're fucking fake.
Holly says, right on, Joy. You were right on.
Yeah.
And,
it's so fucking stupid. It's like when you go to like rallies and stuff and protests, like, do you fucking show your voter registration card? You're there for the same reason. You're there because you're fighting for the same exact thing, fighting against the same things that are oppressing all of you. So 100%. Voting is not, humanitarian rights. Everyone has a right to free healthcare. That is a right. We say, oh, it's a right, not a privilege. We say that a lot, but guess what? People like Biden started saying it, so it lost its meaning. Yeah. But it is a right. Even Martin Luther King Jr. himself said the worst form of violence is a lack of healthcare. And that's fucking true. So,
Yep.
you know, oh, well, I don't care if so she doesn't deserve health care? Is that what you're saying? Because of how she votes? Because she has an R next to her name? Like, fuck you. You don't fucking get it. You don't fucking get it. And you don't know what class solidarity is.
Yep. 100%.
Take that.
100%. So here's a little video about that.
The nature of the threats, we would also be asking for GPS with house arrest conditions to protect the community.
With her head in her hands, Breonna Boston learned she would be held in jail on $100,000 bond. The Polk County judge adding the bond was appropriate given the, quote, status of our country.
It's not like she's a child. She's 42 years old, so we're not dealing with a child here. She should certainly know better.
Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor says his department was contacted by the FBI Tuesday. Authorities say in a recorded phone call about a denied insurance claim, Boston told a Blue Cross Blue Shield employee, quote, delay, deny, depose. You people are next, end quote. The language matches the words police say were written on the shell casings found at the United Healthcare CEO's murder scene in New York City.
We will take this very seriously, and we will put you in jail if you do something like this. It is not a joke.
According to Boston's affidavit, the mother of three told police she did not own firearms and was not a danger to anyone. But she added, healthcare companies play games and deserved karma because they are evil.
Yeah.
Period.
Similar
100%.
to the accused shooter in Manhattan, Boston is getting support online from people who say that she was just sharing her opinion and should be protected by the First Amendment, but police do not see it that way. She's facing a second-degree felony of written threat to kill or injure, conduct a mass shooting, or an act of terrorism, a serious charge that she could end up in prison for 15 years. Reporting live in Lakeland, I'm
15 years. So did you guys see how United Healthcare, which is not healthcare, I fucking hate that name. I digress. United Healthcare gave each of their subscribers $800.
No.
It's fucking funny. What is that? Pennies? But would they have done that 2 weeks ago? No. So that had to have cost them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pennies. Like if they gave that to me, that would be a fraction of the money I've spent on medical bills. A fraction. Yeah. But it's funny because even though it's like a smaller thing, it's like it still wouldn't have happened. These people are taking their CEO pictures off their fucking websites and shit. Like they are running scared.
Good.
I'm sorry, don't feel bad, and I'm not sorry. Why did I say I'm sorry? I'm not fucking sorry.
I'm not sorry. So here's an interview. Piers Morgan and Peter Thiel, who is one of the richest guys on the planet.
It's pretty cringy.
Yeah.
It's painful.
I've seen it already, but I'll watch it again. He can't get through it.
And to those who think this shooter is a hero because he did it because he said this healthcare executive was presiding over a healthcare system which kills thousands of Americans by denying them cover, what would you say to them?
It's I don't know what to say. I still think you should try to make an argument, and I think this is you should there may be things wrong with our healthcare system, but you have to make an argument, and you have to try to find a way to convince people and change it by that. And
what?
This is not going to work.
What are you talking about?
And, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, I mean, there are all sorts of things one could say about it, but I don't think, and again, I think, you know, I think the motives feel, I don't want to go into all the particulars here, but I don't think I don't think there's anything heroic.
I don't think there's anything heroic, he says. He's
Okay,
drenched in sweat.
so-
You see his forehead veins are popping out.
I swore that video fucking froze the first time I watched it because I was like,
Yeah.
why does this keep freezing? And I'm like, oh my God, dude literally has nothing to say. Like, the video's not frozen. He's just like, That was like the fucking longest pause in the history of interviews. But he's like, you know, you should try other routes. Okay. I'll volunteer what I've done. How about I was on the Force the Vote town hall with over 140,000 viewers. I've either co-organized or organized over 60 healthcare rallies. That's 60.
Nice.
Okay. I have literally co-authored legislation that was introduced to Congress on medical debt. I worked on it with Ro Khanna and Bernie Sanders. That has been introduced. I helped with that directly for over a year. So I've fucking done all the steps.
Yep.
I've done all that shit. Don't fucking tell me. I've gone to my fucking senator's office with a bunch of empty pill bottles and dumped those motherfuckers on his desk and said, you just voted against Bernie's prescription plan. Why? Do you know how much money is in these empty bottles right now? $700 something. I have tried fucking everything. Literally everything. Whatever, dude. You should go other avenues. You should go other avenues. You tell me what I haven't done. Please tell me. Please. Because, good God.
Yeah.
Other avenues.
Douchebag.
You know, you could say whatever you want about what Luigi did. I think that is moot to me. That's not even related to me. The fact of the matter is, he got everyone talking about the insurance industrial complex again. He got everyone talking about single payer again. He got everyone talking about corporate greed again.
Yeah, it's been 4 years since we've had anything like that. And
I've been screaming him to avoid that. That movement just like is done. And it's brought so much back. And it's like, you know, now people are coming out with their horror stories again. And
we love to see it.
It's been reinvigorated. So whether you approve or agree with what he did, that is a separate story to me. I think regardless, you can still appreciate the fact that things have absolutely changed in the respect of how we are talking about it again. And there is real solidarity between people who have been fucked over by these corporations who use our bodies for profit.
Yes.
So, period. I mean, I am really loving this movement. I am, because it's bringing back that conversation.
Yep. In fact, the last time we talked about healthcare was Bernie's second run, right before he caught the Donald Trump derangement syndrome. Right before that happened, we were all talking about it still, but it kind of just fell off for like 4 years. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed, like, you know, it was crazy. I would be like, you know, the shows I would do about how, like, you know, East Palestine, Ohio needs healthcare and stuff, like, it didn't have the same reaction. Like, people just weren't as interested anymore. And I think as Americans, one of our biggest issues is we don't, and this could be unconscious, but we don't think we deserve more. And we do. We deserve more than what we get.
Yes.
Period. We forget about that so many times. But no, everybody not only has the right to survive, we have the right to thrive. There are this isn't an anomaly. Like, how many people, there are over 50 million people who are uninsured and over 30 million that are underinsured. And I mean, I think it's like everyone, God, I can't think of what the update is, but I know when I checked like a month ago, it was 1 in every 10 people had medical debt. Why is that okay?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize, like, as a disabled person, and I also worked in healthcare for 10 years before my blindness. A lot of people don't realize the shit that some of these companies are allowed to do. Some doctors their offices will not schedule you for another appointment if you owe money on a bill. That should be illegal. That is not fucking illegal. So it's fucking insane. Now, try to go to another doctor, 6-month waiting list, if it's a specialty or something. So what do? You have to get, a credit card. You get declined because you have shit credit. There are so many ways that, there are literally hospitals and doctors' offices that literally take their medical bills out of their paycheck. Like nurses who get like $1,000 paycheck, they may only get $200 because they have an $800 deductible that's on their bill.
Wow.
No lie. How the fuck is that legal? It is. And this kind of shit happens all the fucking time.
Yeah, Polly says that's against the Hippocratic Oath.
Yep.
It's true.
But you know what? Something I found too, and this is not an excuse, but something I found is that like a lot of the doctors that work at like these big hospitals and stuff, they don't even fucking know this shit goes on because they don't deal with the administrative shit. And like they see patients, they don't even fucking realize this shit until a patient comes in and talks to them.
Yeah.
But like, I've been there where I had to sign because this pre-authorization was taking forever. And, my eye disorder is so rare. It was taking forever. I needed my treatment ASAP. And they made me sign something saying that if the insurance company came back and denied it for some reason, I had to pay the $12,000 it cost. I said, I'm not signing it. So I didn't get that treatment for another week till it came back. Could that have helped my eyes? I will never know. I will never know. But I'll be damned if I was going to sign a paper that could have held me to $12,000. Like, people deal with that fucking shit all the time. They make choices that are literally life-changing and life-altering. All because, I mean, shit, the one time I've taken a fucking Uber to the hospital. And I know I can't be the only one. Like, that guy's face. Oh, my God. He's like, so you're going to the hospital? I was like, yeah, I don't feel good. And he's like, well, why? And I was like, don't worry, it's not contagious. Oh my God, that poor guy. But yeah, it's like, well, because why? Because the last time I took a fucking ambulance, it cost over $800 and I have insurance. And I said, why? I called them. They said, oh, because the closest one to your neighborhood was out of network for you. And I said, well, why can you just wait to send one that's in network? And she's like, well, they were another mile out, and it automatically sends the closest one to you. And I was like, so I just want to be clear. If I waited another 2 minutes to call for an ambulance, it would have been covered. And she said, yes. And I said, so there's no way for me to set that up. Like, I don't care if I die. I only want an ambulance in network. And she's like, no, it's just their rule, how the nearest one picks you up. And I'm like, I'm not fucking calling for an ambulance anymore. I'll get a fucking Uber.
That's fucked up. But
right? Like, at least ask me. Ask me. I would have waited another 2 minutes. Because you're there and, you know, you're just like, I think I might be dying, but I don't want to go to the hospital because if I don't die, I have all these bills. You know, it's... Yep.
Let's play this little clip.
Overnight. So look at the message here that our photographer found near Dexter Avenue in the northbound lanes of the highway there. It reads, one less CEO, many more to go. We don't know who's responsible for this message, which agency operates the sign, whether it's WashDOT, SDOT, or a private company, and how this could have happened. So we're certainly going to let you know what we find out when we get some answers. It appears that message was up for at least an hour overnight.
Cool.
Dude. Fucking activists are like the most crafty, amazing, artistic people. Because I would never have even thought of that.
Yeah.
It's so innovative. You gotta love it.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, now get your barf bags ready.
Yeah, yeah.
I slowed my gait as I passed a side entrance to the Hilton Hotel, realizing that this was the same day, in the same early morning hour, in the precise location where 1 week prior, a 50-year-old father of two was assassinated. But something was missing. Any sign whatsoever of the tragedy that occurred right here and which has captivated the nation. We've all seen the crime scene that's been shown many times in the media. There it is. But a week later, here's what was left. A lone piece of NYPD crime tape affixed to a barrier. No memorial of the kind that often appears spontaneously after a similar tragedy. Like when John Lennon was murdered in New York City in 1980. Or when 32-year-old Heather Heyer was run down in Charlottesville, Virginia. George Floyd's murder in Minneapolis. The spot in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber were shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse. Crowds grieve the loss of Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer who was fatally shot on the set of the film Rust. The University of Georgia held a vigil for Laken Riley, a nursing student who was killed by a migrant near campus. And when Donald Trump returned to the site of his first assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, supporters appropriately honored Corey Comparatori's life and service by placing his firefighter's uniform in the stands. But there was no sign of any makeshift memorial on 54th Street. Instead, a poster was taped outside the Hilton Hotel depicting the suspect as a saint with the words, "Free Luigi," a reference to the 26-year-old charged with second-degree murder.
Okay. As someone who literally just went to New York City for the annual John Lennon celebration, what in the actual fuck? Like, you're naming people who, like, created movements. Like, George Floyd actually created a movement. John Lennon was a revolutionary musically. I mean, these people you're fucking naming, like, actually, like, did something? So, what? Like, first of all, where's your fucking flowers, douche canoe? Like, you're complaining about it. What the fuck did you put there?
Yep.
You have money to buy a whole fucking floral shop. Go ahead.
I mean, who even watches CNN anymore? Is it just CEOs watching this shit? Who's watching it? Who's this for? Or I don't know.
I love how they had all the footage ready though. Okay.
They definitely
Like,
planned this out. Yeah.
like this shit was scripted because
Oh,
no,
100%.
I'm sorry. You don't just like, you're not that quick.
With all the names and stuff and the details. I mean, he's definitely reading this. I don't know if he wrote it. Kind of doubt it. So,
Oh my God.
and the image at the end is very, it's a very flattering photo with the Jesus imagery. They could have picked like something bad, I guess. I don't know. It could be worse.
Well,
I don't
that
think
was the
anybody's going
thing
to take
that
this
was hanging
seriously.
there.
Oh, that's the one that was okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they didn't have to show it, but I guess.
I know. It's like all that does is make me laugh. It doesn't offend me, you know. Oops, you failed. Most of us who have seen this just think it's hilarious.
Yeah. So you shared this other one with me. This could be a plan to install Patriot Act 2.0.
There's something that most people are missing when it comes to this story, and it's that this is an orchestrated media spectacle to basically usher in a new era of mass surveillance. Think Patriot Act 2.0. For those who don't know the story, a woman in Florida was charged by police on Tuesday after ending a call with an insurance company by saying delay, deny, depose, 3 words that are reminiscent of the writings found in the shell casings retrieved at United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder scene in New York last week. This woman was charged with threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism, according to the affidavit. A judge set her bond at $100,000, describing it as, quote, appropriate considering the status of our country at this point, even though this lady doesn't even own a firearm. And they're saying if convicted, this woman is facing up to 15 years in prison for speech. This is bonkers. And for those of you who are saying that she FAFO'd, that she deserves all this, and people have a right to free speech, but not a right to be free of consequences, I get it. But guys, there is a much more sinister plan in the works that you should know about. It is now being reported that Kathy Hochul, New York's governor, is holding a therapy session with 175 corporate representatives and CEOs to calm the nerves of the NYC business elite in the wake of Brian Thompson's killing, promising state assistance for corporate security to combat domestic terrorism. Here's what they're trying to accomplish, allegedly.
There is a full court press going on in the news media and on the part of government to frame the killing of the former United Healthcare CEO as domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, the New York Police Department's head of intelligence, she made a statement essentially saying as much. And it's alarming because the national security state has a suite of tools, a whole apparatus to be able to drop the hammer on something when you're able to say that it's terrorism that they don't have if you're not able to designate something there.
This is huge and profoundly disturbing because guess what? Today, this event right here, a protest against Kellogg's, would be civil disobedience. Tomorrow, maybe it's terrorism. And if the protest is too peaceful, maybe we do something like this. How about that, huh? I would suggest people give this Wikipedia entry a read. So make no mistake, yes, they are definitely making an example out of this woman, basically saying, don't test us. We're going to lay the hammer down on you. But the grander plan, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here, but the master plan here is to make it basically illegal to criticize corporations. You can do whatever you want, but you can't be messing up the profit margins.
I could see it.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, look, for some reason, people end up judging the state of the economy by how well stocks are doing. But, the amount of, the dive that stock markets have taken the past week is kind of fucking beautiful. It's amazing. But there's going to be ramifications for that, for sure. And it's going to be hours to deal with.
Yep. The last thing we have on this topic is this little clip. I've already watched this. It's kind of funny.
The New York CEO who had his Lamborghini pooped in by his employees after he canceled their Christmas bonuses has just learned that they have all resigned. Literally every employee from the sales staff to the shipping department emailed in their resignation to the CEO at the same time. The former employees are saying that the business will now grind to a halt as no customer will be receiving their orders in time for Christmas or their orders at all. While a few of the employees did take other jobs, the rest of the crew is sticking around, pooling their savings, and they're going to start the exact same company without a D-bag at the top. The CEO is in panic mode and he's putting up these job postings trying to fill these vacant positions, but all he's getting back are these AI-generated resumes that these old employees are pushing towards him to waste his time so that he can't actually fill the positions. The sales staff is confident that they'll be able to bring all the clients from the old company to the new company and leave the CEO with zero revenue, which will effectively make him unemployed. And then he'll have to sell his Lamborghini, but nobody really knows what the resale market is on a pooped-in Lamborghini.
Yo, see, that's my style. Like, that would be, I'd be like, yo, let's throw like fish heads and skunk and like all kinds of stuff because they care about possessions more than anything.
Yeah.
So that is beautiful. These people are geniuses. So more power to them.
Totally. I like it.
I do too. And for those watching, please smash the like button and subscribe. Pretty please.
Please. All right, we're moving on. Moving on. We have something from the Government Accountability Project.
Breaking news from our people, from Miss Leslie Pacey. You guys may know her from being on my show, but also Government Accountability Project does represent me as a whistleblower from East Palestine, Ohio, when I taped the absolute trash head EPA, Mark Durno, of East Palestine. I taped him for 91 minutes and he did not know, which was legal. So they represent me as a whistleblower, and they just came out with this report that they sent the higher up who rules the EPA in Washington, D.C. So Matt, why don't you read the first few paragraphs? It gives kind of the gist of what is happening.
Yep. So this is to the Inspector General, Sean O'Donnell. It says, Dear Mr. O'Donnell, today, Government Accountability Project today is filing a new hotline complaint in light of new evidence that exposes the impropriety of EPA's practice of relying on responsible party contractors to gauge community health and safety. An East Palestine resident who has requested confidentiality recently provided the Government Accountability Project with a legally recorded conversation in which a high-ranking EPA official states that Norfolk Southern's environmental consultants regularly characterize and present environmental disaster data in a manner that minimizes the responsible party's liability. So putting their finger on the scale, or they're saying it in a way that, yeah. The conversation between the resident and Mark Durno, the EPA Region 5 on-scene coordinator for the EP train derailment, warrants an investigation as it casts serious doubts on the validity of the environmental data and reporting by the contractors paid by Norfolk Southern, as well as EPA's role in monitoring, validating, and disseminating contractor environmental data in a transparent, unbiased, and timely manner to communities endangered by chemical releases. The recording is a smoking gun evidence of abuse of authority and gross mismanagement that have sustained despite a substantial and specific danger to public health. Moreover, these newly released confessions by the EPA official heading the EP cleanup confirm a widespread suspicion that paid contractors tend to downplay dangerous chemical exposures to protect polluters to the detriment of the public. EPA officials charged with protecting the health and welfare of EP and surrounding communities have a duty to timely and transparently warn upon knowledge of chemical threats due to the incident or subsequent remediation, emissions, or effluents. So there's some contractor bias.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, one of my shows is in this this documentation, the link and my name. So if they weren't tracking me before, like,
is it really?
really have to do that. So yeah, my show is in case
there it
it
is.
starts glitching or something. Now you know why. Oops. But shout out to Gap. I mean, they are just so fucking incredible. They've been around like 40 years. They helped Snowden. They helped so many whistleblowers. They are incredible. And it's so great to work with them and talk to them. And you know, I've become great friends with Leslie Pacey, who wrote this, and they're just an awesome organization. So give them a follow on Twitter as well. Government Accountability Project. They take no shit, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, solidarity with the residents as always. The other whistleblower that maintains anonymous, they may come out. I spoke with them today, but as of now, they are going to remain anonymous. So
good, probably for the best.
It is because retribution in East Palestine. Oh yeah, it's a real fucking thing.
Yeah,
like cow tongues on people's porch. You know, letters. Open doors that were locked with everything strewn about. Car accidents. Like there's some crazy shit that goes on in there in East Palestine. So yes, they are remaining anonymous, which is certainly best. But yeah, I wanted to share that because it's really good news. It's awesome, and Gap fights for EP like crazy all the time. So we are very thankful to have them.
Yes. All right.
What do we have next? I believe next is Syria and Palestine.
Let's do it. This is from Hotspot. Insane explosion. Wow. Jesus. So that was the shockwave coming to get them, I guess.
Yep. So Israel is doing this to Palestine, Lebanon, Syria. And the good thing is we just gave them more money. And as Matt and I covered last week, we also just voted down a ceasefire for the 6th time. So our country is really fucking on it, man. It's great.
Yeah. But aliens, Joy.
Hey, if they were the ones doing this, we'd be fighting them too.
I thought the aliens were supposed to come and stop us from doing this. They're not here. They're not stopping us.
We need to give certain people lobotomies.
Jesus Christ.
How scary is that? You're just sitting at your house and all of a sudden you see that.
Well, if those drones are from Israel, then we might be seeing this soon.
Yeah. You know, the United States, and I know I've talked about this before, but we feel so invincible because in our lifetimes, nothing has happened to us here. We've always been, as Claire Daly calls it, the world's bully. So that can only last so long. Yep. And we're all going to have to pay the price for Israel
It'll be
being
the
the
citizens.
terrorists on us.
All of the lawmakers and the billionaires will be in their little bunkers.
Yep.
And we the citizens, are living on borrowed time here. We're going to pay for it.
What do we have next?
Antony Blinken.
Back in the region at a time of both real promise, but also peril for Syria and for its neighbors. And the focus of our work here is to coordinate efforts across the region to support the Syrian people as they transition away from Assad's brutal dictatorship. I think to succeed and to emerge from the past dominated by Assad, any transitional government has to adhere to certain basic principles. It should be inclusive, non-sectarian. It's got to uphold and protect the rights of all Syrians, including minorities, including women. It has to make sure that it's preserving institutions of the state, delivering services. We have to make sure that any interim government also makes sure that Syria is not used as a base for terrorism. For the first time in decades, Syria has an opportunity to have a government that is not dominated by a dictator like Assad, that's not dominated by one religion or one ethnic group, that's not dominated by an outside power, but that in fact is run by and answers to the Syrian people. And we're determined to do everything we can, working in close coordination with partners to help the Syrian people realize that aspiration.
Wow.
Hero. Absolute fucking hero. Thank you. Thank you. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
He's standing up for minorities. He's standing up for women.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It all sounds great, but I don't like that we are back in the region to coordinate efforts across the region. Why are we over there?
Can we just fucking stay out of everywhere? Can we just focus on, like, you know, people who are like dying here, maybe?
Yeah. Here's
that's like, it's funny because that's the first time I think I've heard him say anything even like that, even though we know it's bullshit. Like, he usually doesn't talk like that. So it's like, I don't know. Like, it's, I'm not, never mind. I'm not going to say it.
All right. Here's a comment from Frosty. They say, for as much as the U.S. cries about foreign interference, but not crying about Israel, who really runs the show, it is amazing how much they interfere in foreign countries and their governments. It's
absolutely
true.
How many elections have we fucking cheated? So many. But then, you know, I mean, oh my God, we're up in everyone's business, always.
Yep. So this is a little callback to the CEO story.
In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint. I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, and I have worked to address that throughout my career. But I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most.
Yeah, so I'm a constituent and you haven't done shit for healthcare, so
yeah,
save your fucking sanctimony.
Wow. Yeah, I like that, superimposing the signing the bombs with writing the message on the bullets. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a clip. If the UN workers in Gaza are eating animal fodder, what do you think the people in Gaza are eating?
What are they seeing on the ground? Your workers, your employees.
stories are absolutely harrowing. I just had our staff counselor who went to Gaza, who for 4 weeks has interviewed, was in relation with 2,000 of our staff, and basically they were sharing their stories. They're heartbreaking. For example, staff member saying that I lost 30 kilo, we are hungry, and we are just eating animal fodder to keep us alive.
Even staff members?
Even staff member.
So if that's the case for them, what does that mean for the ordinary Palestinian family, children, women?
That means hunger is a real reality. It is a deepening in Gaza. You know, Christian, in September, we couldn't reach 1 million people, 1.4 million people in October, 1.7 million people in November. Hunger is deepening.
That's crazy, though.
It is. So you can't even reach these people. I wonder why. So we also need to put into context, and I said this on one of my shows a week or so ago. It is estimated that over 200,000 Palestinians have been unalived. Now, some sources say more than that, but for the sake of my point, I'll say, okay, 200,000. Yeah. So what that means is a tenth of Palestinian peoples are gone. A tenth of Palestinian peoples. Imagine if you took a tenth of Americans. Like, imagine that. That's a lot of fucking people.
So many people. Yeah.
So more than 250,000 people in Palestine have been killed so far.
Comment from Miss Frosty, and a large percentage of those are children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And I didn't put it in here. I totally forgot. So this girl on Twitter, I shared it on Twitter if you guys want to see it. She posted, and I'm paraphrasing, but she posted, they have to kill the children because if they don't, when they get older, they'll want to retaliate.
Yes. That's what it is.
What? Then don't fucking do anything that they want to retaliate for. Like, what? No, it's because they don't want them to grow older and procreate. That's why. This is how genocide works. You kill the youngest so that they cannot grow old and procreate and create more Palestinians.
100%.
Like,
yep.
Insanity.
Apparently, Israel is closing its embassy to Ireland. Israel foreign minister says the move is due to the, quote, extreme anti-Israeli policy of the Irish government.
I love Ireland. I want to go back just because I want to, like, just be there again. And you know what? Props to Claire Daly, because you're a goddess and you're a queen. And I'm sure she had, you know, a lot to do with this because they hate her, which is another reason why we should all love her.
Yep.
Imagine how rad that would be if Israel's like, yeah, we're closing your consulate. I mean, it would never happen because, you know, we fund them, but
we are Israel.
That's fucking amazing.
Yep. I like
it's
it.
Like, is that a punishment or a thank you? Because, yes, please.
So I guess Ireland is next for their little conquests, probably. They'll probably get invaded by Israel soon.
That's, you know, but they're white, though.
That's true.
As you know, I thought of that initially, and I thought, nah, they're white.
They're white Christians, mostly. Here we have Netanyahu giving a definition of terrorism.
Because what terrorists do is target the innocent deliberately. Therefore, my definition of terrorism is the systematic and deliberate attack in murder, maiming, and menacing of innocent civilians.
Her name is Hind Brajab, and she was just 5 years old when she was killed with her family trapped in a vehicle.
You can tell a lot about terrorists, but what happens when they come to power? They end up as being masquerading terrorist states.
What's the thing where you say the thing that you're not doing, or you're doing but you're saying it? I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Hypocrisy?
Hypocrisy, I guess, is the word, but I thought there was something else.
He certainly has lacked self-reflection, that's for fucking sure.
Pot calling the kettle black? No, that's not quite it. Every Zionist accusation is a confession. That is true.
Absolutely.
And apparently there's a great awakening happening around this.
This is so interesting, this poll result. This account called Donald J. Trump Daily Polls asked this question: who is the worst enemy to America? Russia, China, Iran, or other? And shockingly, or at least I was shocked, more than half of respondents, 55%, said other, and that was out of a total of nearly 500,000 votes. And when you peruse the comments, one country pops up over and over again. I think you can see which one. If you're scratching your head thinking, hang on one second, isn't Israel supposed to be one of our closest allies? What is going on here? Well, maybe perhaps there's a little bit more to this relationship than they are telling us. Because doing a little bit of research, on June 8, 1967, Israel attacked a U.S. Navy vessel, the USS Liberty, killing 34 Americans and injuring 174 others. They claimed it was a case of mistaken identity. Transcripts later came out proving that they knew it was an American ship before they attacked. They were also somehow involved in the assassinations of John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, allegedly. That's kind of wild. The New York Times also reported that they tried to kill President Truman with a letter bomb, and they also tried to President Bush. I think that's already kind of bad enough, but I found a few other things too. They're also the only country to have a nuclear weapons program without having to disclose that they have a nuclear weapons program. Apparently, they're just allowed to do that. I have no idea what that's all about.
Great.
Although there is some speculation that is the reason why Kennedy got pew-pewed. They also plant spies in America to spy on U.S. citizens to see if our political mood towards them has changed. I'm no spy, but I would have to say that perhaps it has. And this is an insane statistic that I found, which is that of the 500 plus members in Congress, only 33 members didn't receive campaign donations from the Israeli lobby in the last election cycle, which maybe could explain why Congress approved so much money to be sent to Israel every single year. Does anybody in Congress care to explain what the hell is going on?
I love Twitter.
Israel has so much surveillance on us. I've read so many articles and watched so many videos on this, which is exactly why I find it hard to believe they wouldn't be involved in the drones in any way.
Yep.
Whether they manufactured them, whether they're running them, whether it was their idea, I don't know, but I'm not going to be convinced they didn't have anything to do with it. That's for sure.
Yep. Until I see an alien, it is Israel. Israel kills men, women, and children, and they don't receive a single sanction to stop.
Israel kills Palestinian men, women, and children, and then they look around the world and they don't receive a single sanction to stop. They are emboldened and they keep acting. I mean, this motion is a joke. It is a joke as part of a peace process. What peace process?
Yeah.
Israel is carrying out a genocide. Israel is carrying out a genocide in Gaza. It's not a peace process. Why is it that 146 countries could find it within their hearts to recognize Palestine right now? Why is it that the Australian government refuses? And how is it that when a Labor senator, Senator Payman, who had the principles and the courage to cross the floor to vote with the Greens to immediately recognize Palestine, why is it that Senator Payman faced more sanctions than Labor has dished out against Israel? What do you all do? What does this Labor government do? They can recognise Israel, but they can't immediately recognise Palestine. You can't end Tuwain's arms trade. You can't cancel the Elbit Systems contract. You can't sanction Israel. And you should all be deeply, deeply ashamed.
Fuck yeah.
I cannot even fathom what electeds like him are feeling, because he's like, we're in a position of power. Like, think of how frustrated we get, you know, with people in our lives who are fucking silent or trying to rationalize or something. Imagine actually being in a position of power and having your colleagues literally vote against, not just talk about being against it or being silent, but literally taking action against what you are fighting for. I cannot even fathom how maddening that must be.
To be real and in that, yeah, that would be really frustrating. We have a comment though about the previous video. If Israel discloses that they have nuclear weapons, that makes all aid to them illegal. Nuclear powers aren't allowed to be given international aid.
Very true.
I learned something today. Thank you.
That is very,
Austin.
very true. I did not even think of that. You are absolutely correct.
Here we go. It's our old friend Matt Miller.
Aww.
What about the territory that is being invaded by Israel, that is the buffer zone?
And we have made quite clear that we believe that action ought to be temporary. Israel has said, and they can speak for themselves, that they took the action because they saw the Syrian army withdraw from that buffer zone, and it created a vacuum that could be filled by terrorist groups. They have said it's temporary. They can speak for themselves. We have made clear that we believe it also ought to be temporary.
Temporary, huh? We'll see.
Did that mother ever really just say Israel can speak for themselves?
He
like,
did.
What in the fuck? What's your point then? What are you doing there? Like, so when people are going to ask you questions, you're going to just say Israel can speak for themselves. What the fuck? Dude, that guy is so... I have never been in a physical fight in my entire life, ever, in 45 years. That is the absolute truth. But that douche has such a fucking punchable face. I swear to fucking God.
I want to punch his nose.
I just...
Punch him right in the nose.
Good God. Oh, Jesus.
All right. You ready for a funny? I'm ready for a funny.
I'm ready for a funny, dude. I'm fucking ready.
All right. Let's do it. Grocery shopping in 2024. I did this today. I can vouch for this.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
This isn't going to be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Patricia, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
Oh, my God. The numbers are going up so fast. Why do we have to be at Balderson's house?
Don't look up there. It only makes it worse. Keep your eyes on me, okay?
Can't you just scan something less expensive?
I can, but let's not forget, it's the little things that add up, all right? Now brace yourself. I'm about to do the mixed nuts.
Oh, my God. I'm going to pass out.
Okay, bite down on this, Patricia. Get ready. I'm going to do the cured meats.
No, stop. I can't do this anymore.
It's too late. There's a line behind you, okay? You're locked in.
I'm not strong enough.
I know it looks like a lot right now, but I promise you, you're going to get home and you're going to wonder, what did I even buy? You've got this, Patricia. Get ready. I'm going to weigh the grapes.
Oh, No! What have you done to me, you son
Okay,
of
your total's $257.84.
Oh, no!
You got to dig deep. This is the hardest part. Patricia, it's time to pay.
Oh my God. I've never had, been in labor, but I feel like I understand this. Is that what your wife sounded like having your kids?
It wasn't even that bad. No, this is
Oh,
worse.
this was more excruciating. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe. Also, if you missed the beginning of the show, I did find out that I will be able to fly out to Michigan to interview my dear friend Temujin Kensu from prison. He has been on my show from prison over a dozen times. And I finally get to go interview him in person. He's on his 38th year in prison. He has been wrongly incarcerated. He's been proven innocent. And he's still in there. Thanks, Gretchen Whitmer. So I will be finally being able to go out and meet with him in person. If you'd like to help me with my plane, hotel, all those things, I'm in Pennsylvania. I have to fly out to Michigan. I'll be leaving the 15th of January, so just a month. I'm so excited. I have a buy me a coffee if you'd like to chip in there. And then my Twitter also has links in my bio to PayPal and Venmo. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Capitalist Death Parade. Matt, thanks so much for joining. I always love doing our shows together.
Yes, it's my pleasure. Have a good night,
Thanks so
everyone.
much, guys. Have a good night. Much love.